All right, hey Mark. So, wanted to kind of recap what we did today and what the plan is for the shoulder here for the next couple weeks. Again, first off, it's pretty inflamed, pretty irritable shoulder, right? Pain constant daily. Most movements hurt. So, less is more, right? We really want to just kind of get this thing, turn it around a little more healing and a little less disruption and abuse, right? So again, I treat everything, I like to hit three categories: inflammation, mobility, and strength. So foremost, the inflammation, we got to start icing. Location's not going to matter too much, it's right there on the shoulder. Ideally, I'd shoot for about 3 times a day, around 10 minutes each. Try to make that work in for your schedule. Typically, it needs to be more later in the day. After work, after dinner, then before bed would be ideally for me. If you sneak if you're hurting around lunchtime, sneak one in and be my guest. But typically, we're trying to kind of ice and remedy the abuse we've given it throughout the day. Also, I wouldn't mind anti-inflammatories pretty consistently there until we can at least actively move this thing without much pain. And then we tried the tape today. Obviously, not immediate jump there in relief, but give that a shot for a day, and then see if you like it. We can always try that again down the road. So just really trying to don't try to work through the pain. Don't try to, I'm going to bear through this, and pain is never, there's not a situation right now where pain's making it better. So calm it down, a lot of ice, rest it. For mobility, again, you weren't super stiff or tight in the traditional sense. Well, obviously there's some limitations to what you can do because of the pain, but there wasn't a lot. I want to focus probably more on the neck right now. We'll get to the more shoulder mobility later when it calms down a little bit more. But the one thing I want you to do that's a nice hybrid of both shoulder and neck is, first, these pendulums. You kind of know the drill here. You grab 5 to 10 pounds and just let it swing. I love this for the shoulder when it's aching and just can't get that relief, when it's kind of dogging you maybe at night. It's just kind of that, like, I always liken this to, like when you take your shoes off at the end of the day. It's kind of that, like, there, that feels good, right? We're going from the walking around all day like this. I know you're not that bad, but probably to some degree, some holding, some protection there, to just relief. Let that ball kind of drop out of the socket a little bit. That feels good. And then I want you just to get that neck out of the way, all right? Put that left ear to the left shoulder. And this will be a nice way to loosen the shoulder and also kind of dissociate the shoulder and the neck, because I can only imagine how close those tend to stay together. So this one is low level. You can do this stuff 10 times a day. Be my guest. If you like it, keep doing it. It's never a forceful thing. It's just kind of, hey, 30 seconds or a minute of that, feel pretty good, right? I think you'll enjoy it. Strength. We want to start, again, the rotator cuff muscles are intact but very sore, and definitely on the weaker side. We can tell that when we added a little bit of force on it today. So we want to address them. We want them to contract. We want them to turn on. We just know there's a limit there to how much they can handle. So to play it safe, I want you to do just 2 motions for isometrics. That's going to be pushing against the wall. Again, elbow stays kind of in, just pushing out against the wall stopping you there. Again, we talked about maybe 5-second holds for about 5 sets. So boom, out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That, when we go out, that's hitting muscle back here. Should feel it there. And then I also want you to do the punch forward. All right, punch it in. Feel that in the front. 5 seconds. Relax. Repeat. As forceful as you can with no pain. Maybe a 1 out of 10. I understand there's going to be some action happening. What you're going to feel there is less pain. You're not going to get that impingement type pain. It's just going to be more of like, oh, that muscle has not worked a lot in the last few months. Kind of discomfort. So a little bit of force. Back away, a little closer. Again, when your elbow is really close to your ribs, typically that's your safest position. But if you get pretty good at it, and you want to start adding a little range, adding a little bit here, just don't mimic that chicken wing. All right, that's the bad one. And then the last one we had was get around 90 degrees or just whatever, tabletop, desk, kitchen counter, whatever you got. And then I want you doing the rocking back. Remember we found turn that hand opens you up a little bit. This, when we're going for maximum range of motion, again, comfortably and pain-free. You're a little stiff, you're a little stuck up here. This is a position because of that chicken wing and because of that painful arc. You haven't been in this position in a long time. Can only imagine. And we know how the throwing thing used to go. So this just opens you up. It's activating the muscles. It's increasing your range of motion. And it's unlocking some position you haven't been in a while. To me, it's just kind of some low-hanging fruit. We got to kind of unlock this before we can start getting back into normal stuff. So one setting to me might be, 15 or 20 of these. But all day long. I want you doing these. I want you doing the isometrics against the wall. I want you doing these several times a day. I'm going to say anywhere between 5 and 10 sessions a day. And just, man, eating dinner, you can knock out a couple rounds. All right, if it's sore, back off. If you hit a range of motion you don't like, all right, shorten it up a little bit. Again, none of this are we going for discomfort. But that's really where we have to start. So then next time, hopefully we can start talking about, okay, how do we actually strengthen this rotator cuff? How do we start adding some different movements? How do we start reaching overhead again without pain? I mean, we gotta do this so I can get you here. Otherwise, getting here is gonna look like a hot mess, and then you have to kind of cheat to get there. So throughout the day, these little exercises, again, pendulums all day, every day. Add the neck if you care to. You can always kind of pull, hold it to the side if you want as well. And then, but again, the biggest obstacle right now is the inflammation. So ice, ibuprofen, get it calmed down, man. And we'll try again in a couple weeks. Let me know if I need to change anything or if anything's not feeling good or if we got any questions on do's and don'ts. Other than that, I'm looking forward to the process, man. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.